Hey lovelies, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. So I've been asked to create a dedicated video about how to enhance your focus or maintain your focus and stop procrastinating for a while. And I think it's because we're all staying at home trying to be productive, trying to study and work, but there are a lot of different distractions we're trying to minimize. So I thought I would make this video now. I feel like it's very timely and I hope you'll enjoy. So if you do, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe to this channel and turn on the post notifications so you know when a new video goes up every week. I do post Tuesday nights at 10 PM Melbourne Oz time. And I also wanted to say I'm so excited to be partnering with Letty Shops for this video. So I'm going to talk about that more in a little bit. So I think I'm going to talk about my focus tips or focus hacks first, and then I'll go on to my tips for how to minimize procrastination. So first one is to control for distractions that you can control for. So that's things like turning off your Wi-Fi on your laptop if you don't need it and you're writing an essay, or keeping your phone in your bag or in another room just away from your desk. That's something that I always do. Even letting your family know that you're studying and not to be disturbed, or if you can, study in another room where you can actually close the door. Even if you want to hang a little do not disturb sign on that door as well, you can get creative. And I do talk about this in my study skills book, The High School Survival Guide, that when I was in high school and uni, I used to create these really funny little do not disturb signs. My mum and I came up with a couple together, like Genius in Progress or Do Not Disturb Getting My Nerd On. So I have a couple of those as little cutouts in my study skills book, The High School Survival Guide too. But I feel like that's a really good way to control for distractions that are within your control. Now this next tip, it's actually both. It's a focus hack and a procrastination hack. So it's about setting timers, and not just to keep you on track, but also to make sure that you're taking some much needed breaks throughout your study sessions or throughout the day. So I have a really bad habit of sitting down to work for way too long, and the longer that you study for or work and you're in the same position, the more rapidly your focus is going to fall. So I have talked about this a lot in my book, The High School Survival Guide, and on this channel, so I won't get too much into it. But basically, once you study for around 30 minutes or more, your focus has plateaued and then begins to rapidly fall. So setting timers for every 30 minutes or using a Pomodoro technique is going to help you maintain your focus. Now yesterday I had so much work to get done and I really didn't feel like doing it. I was quite tired. I felt like I was sort of dragging my feet, but I had these urgent deadlines and I couldn't do anything about it. So one way that I feel I was able to increase my focus and my motivation overall was to set myself a couple of rewards. So some of my favorite things I've been doing for the last week or two, I love having bubble baths or baths with a bath bomb. Like, you know, those lush, really bright and colorful and heavenly smelling bath bombs, or even waiting to watch some of my favorite shows. I've been obsessed with a couple of new shows that just landed on Netflix and on Stan. I've just been watching Hollywood with Adam. So having something that I really can look forward to, it just helps me to push through the day, and I feel like I'm able to maintain my focus just for that particular amount of time. Okay, now let's get on to procrastination tips, because I feel like this is the big challenge that we all experience, not just while working and studying from home, but I feel like this question comes up on a daily basis. If I ask you guys on Instagram to send me your questions, there is always at least a dozen questions about how to not procrastinate and get your work done. So here are a couple of tips to help you with that. First off, it's so important to actually identify, why are you procrastinating? And by that, I don't just mean, oh, because you can't be bothered doing your work or you're a bit tired, but really taking some time to hone in on what it is that seems to be cultivating this sense of dread that you don't want to do your work. Is it because you don't feel competent, you don't feel supported enough, you are doubting in your abilities and you feel like this task at hand is way too challenging, so maybe you actually just need some more assistance from your teachers, lecturers, or even a tutor? Or maybe it's because you are feeling quite tired, and it's not just because you have a lot of work, but because you're actually almost on that verge of burnout and you've been taking on too much in other areas of your life, so you don't really have what to give to your studies. Maybe you need to nurture yourself more. Once you've identified why you procrastinate, you can treat the root cause, which is absolutely vital. So doing things like just adding a reward or just trying to push through or watching some sort of motivational video, it can help to a degree, but if there is an underlying issue there, you have to address that first. I know that another reason that people procrastinate is because they just feel very overwhelmed. They don't know how to break down a huge assignment into small manageable tasks or bite-sized tasks. So I just wanted to let you guys know, if you didn't watch my previous video, I do now have, and I'm so excited about this, my digital planners for education, my stationery line. So it's all on my website, studywithjess.com, if you want to check them out too, in addition to my study skills book. All these resources are on my one website, so go check them out, because all of my planners and books, they do have these unique templates to help you break down all of your assignments, structure your essays, write out your weekly summaries to help you prepare for exams. It's all there in new colors, designs as a new product. So just wanted to flag that again, because if you didn't watch last week's video, I think it was last week's where I mentioned that, then make sure to go and check them out after this video. Now, I do want to mention that all of these sort of topics, how to improve your focus, how to stop procrastinating, how to increase your motivation and productivity, how to stress less, like basically everything, how to structure your study sessions, it's all in my study skills book, The High School Survival Guide, which I'm so excited to say is an Amazon bestseller, and it's been sitting in the top 10 of several categories for the last few weeks, which tells me that studying from home has been particularly challenging and that this has been making the world of a difference to so many of you. So thank you for all of your beautiful reviews and anyone sharing it on Instagram and tagging me. It just absolutely makes my day. So if you want to grab a copy of my study skills book, you can purchase it online, because I do get asked this a lot, where to get your copy. So I recommend using Book Depository, and the reason for that is because I actually mentioned at the start of this video that I'm partnering with Letyshops. So they are an international cashback service with over 2,000 e-retailers on their platform. Book Depository is one of them. So when you sign up for your account with Letyshops, it's totally free, by the way. Then all you have to do is shop as you usually would on one of the many e-retailers that are signed up with Letyshops, and it just tracks your orders and puts the cashback amount into your Letyshops account. So I actually used Letyshops earlier this week and went on Book Depository and bought myself a couple of books just to pass the time and feel like I'm being productive and stimulating my brain while I am spending a significant amount of time at home. And it was so easy to create my account, to use it on my laptop. I installed a little web browser extension and then just did my shopping as usual and got the cash back into my Letyshops account. So it was literally as simple as that, but you can use it on your mobile app as well. And also, while you might want to go to Book Depository to buy my book and other books, they do have so many other stores there, from like iHerb, Etsy, The Iconic, Sephora, the list goes on. So if you feel like getting some books during this time, or just doing a little bit of pampering and rewarding yourself for all of your hard work and for not procrastinating, then go sign up to Letyshops. And also, when you do sign up now, you'll also get access to their free premium account with an increased 30% cashback rate for the first week of your online shopping. So totally worth it. And again, it is completely free. So I'm gonna leave their link in the description box down below. So click it and check it out. Now, this next tip has to be one of my absolute favorite ones when it comes to beating procrastination, if not my absolute favorite one. And shout out to Marissa Peer. She is Britain's #1 hypnotherapist, and she talked about this in her online course that I did last year. And I have put this tip into practice every single day. It makes a huge, huge difference to my overall productivity. So successful people do what they don't want to do, but they do it first. I can't stress this enough. If there is something you don't want to do, that feeling of dread, that is often what stops us from doing it, but you have to push through that and do that task first thing, so you get it out of the way and you feel like a winner. You've already accomplished something straight away. So there are even stories where kids have been asked to read in class and they're all nervous. Nobody really likes to volunteer and read out loud in front of their peers, and we all don't want to feel judged. But the kids that raised their hand and volunteered to read first, they were dreading it just as much as all the other kids in the class. But they did what they didn't want to do, and they did it first, and they didn't have to sit with that feeling of dread for the rest of that class, unlike their classmates. So if there's a conversation that you have to have and you are dreading it, if there is an assignment you have to start and you are dreading it, if there is anything you need to do, if there's a phone call and you feel awkward making that call, do it first, because successful people do what they don't want to do, and they do it first, and they don't procrastinate. So keep that on board, because that is actually my favorite procrastination hack, and it has made such a difference. So comment down below what you'd like me to film in the coming weeks. I love reading your suggestions, and so many of you come up with the best YouTube video suggestions, so please leave them down below. Make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, and I will see you next week with another video. Mwah. Bye lovelies, happy studying!